And it all comes down to this. It's map number 3 of the Grand Finals. The Bang in their 3rd finals straight for the Blitzkrieg battle against the newcomers ATG. We're on a Manor, surprisingly enough. I'm Dust. With me is Vince, and we've already saw first blood drawn. It was Reaper who got plucked out of the sky by the scope of the Bang, the leader.
Yeah, we started to see Reaper getting more of the confrontations going his way towards the end of Liberation, and definitely one of the determining factors, although Sam really was the man for ATG, dropping over 30 kills. Moffers lands a nade plumb on Suss's head, and that could make things on A a little bit more stressful for the Axis as they look to try and get Saint over there as soon as possible. He's been using the shotgun a lot, but this time it's going to be the STG, and this time it's going to be a 2K for him. However, he will go down. This opens up a little avenue of aggression for the Allies, which they are going to make the most of. They do have the bomb in the hands of Sam, who I believe has just dropped that bomb because he intends to go aggressive with his shotgun.
Gotta watch out for this flank from Fancy, though, as well. That's the real big problem. That's what's really slowing them down. They're down a man, and they don't really know where they're going to get attacked from next.
Pirlin lays the issue. You've got the bomb, but you're a player down, and you know the enemy may have nades. You know they may throw a couple of those towards you, or just fire you down with a I nearly said a shotgun. It was a sniper rifle and an MP40 in the end. So the first kill and the first round will go the way of the Bang here in the 3rd map.
Yeah, really good job by the leader. I mean, you saw Reaper try to go for the jump peek, which is a little bit more tricky to deal with than someone who just straight up peeks the doorway, but the leader was wise to it, gets the frag. He gets a late frag there in the end as well. Again, one of the big things that the Bang was doing on this map that really helped him out was Fancy kind of pushing out B-House and letting them get early information. Also, Zuma and company are really good at getting aggressive alt-middle and just like kind of slicing the map open. So be on the lookout for some of that again, I suppose, as the leader still scoping out middle. Looking maybe for one. Oh, does spot Moffers in the window, but Moffers does not stick around long enough to get into an actual duel.
Yeah, unfortunately for the leader, he was looking at the top window and decided to look away just at the second that Moffers peeked. And he went for that cheeky, again, lean peek with the shoulder just to make sure he could get that quick information and not get picked out for his troubles. But still, the first kill has gone the way of the Axis. It's Moffers that's gone down. Saint's going to try and spam up through the wooden panels of long A. Doesn't really land too much. The player was tagged. That could have been, I believe it was Dees, who comes back round the corner again and aggressively plucks out the kill. But there's the leader, Ever the marksman. He has to back away though. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome. He's got the pick. There's still a player up. They can go for a retake if so chooses. He gets the tag mid-air, but not the kill. And down goes Zuma as well. Things are now getting really sketchy from a position where you expect the Axis to take it outright. But the bomb's been dropped on the site. And this allows the Axis to now start to play with the time that they have left.
Yeah, that would have been so good if Sam and the company would have had the bomb. They could have just ran through spawn, maybe the other side, but they get forced to have to make this plant here at A. He does get it off. He's getting pinched right now, and he will get caught by Fancy's SMG. So another round does go the way of the Bang. Certainly a better effort from ATG. They were able to get into the spawn of Axis and get some kills and make it scary for a moment there, but just couldn't quite march it far enough.
Bomb defused.
Again, it will fill them with confidence, even though they've lost the last 2 rounds, which is going to be a bit of a bummer. But at least they've got onto the sites. At least they have forced the aggression. At least they have got picks. And so it's not as if they've been completely, smashed in these last 2 rounds and had nothing to go for them. They got 5 kills in the last rounds. That's some cards that's been taken away from the Axis. So try and look at the positives. It's not over just yet. And plus, as we discussed earlier on today, this is more of an Axis-sided map. If you can get 4 or 5 rounds, a lot of teams will be okay with that.
Yeah, typically Axis is favored. Stronger weapons for the most part. Certainly a part of it. Though we did see some crazy allied score lines on this map a little bit earlier today. So, maybe some things are being figured out. Or maybe it was an outlier. We'll have to find out as the game plays on, as we do definitely see ATG really stacking their numbers at long A again. Very similar to last round. They just kind of gathered up and swarmed out long A together and just kind of jumped into the site and hoped to trade. Saint 6 playing a little bit of a nasty corner to clear, though, so he could be up for something. And Sus has an angle as well from spawn. Oh, but Saint gets figured out.
Yeah, it's an angle he's used a few times already, and you could see just the small part of his shoulder protruding around the corner, but Reaper with that second kill. That is disgusting. The first shot's one thing. It's an angle a lot of people use. That second shot, just banging through the smoke. Man, if you're an Axis player right now, you're feeling pretty hard done by.
Yeah, really well done here by ATG. Just going for like a really similar execute to what we've seen earlier with that heavy long A presence. This time around, the leader's scope wasn't around like it had been at Gate in the past, where he was usually cracking off shots. It was Sus who was up for it this time, but got spanned to the smoke by Reaper. Saint 6 also went down for free in the site, so all in all, a clean attack from ATG to get their first round on the board. I'll make it 1-2 as Zuma just looks to save his gun out in Big Barn. Nathan can certainly afford the chase. He's only on a default class, so he has nothing to lose.
Azuma going to be able to hold on to his car, and that will be pretty valuable because, as you can see, they have no rifle cards left. This is the only car going to be in play. They're also running low on heavy and sniper rifle, and also as a result of Saint picking up an MP40, they're running low on the SMG class too. So I mean, we're only into the 4th round, Dust, and already the Axis are feeling the pinch.
Yeah, cards could definitely come into play throughout the half. There's no question about that. As ATG again looking to try to push out long A with a couple of players. This time they do have some players focused over towards the plane area as well, so it's not a full commitment to long A as it had been in the past. And you can see that the Bang have certainly kind of shifted their focus to defending alt, mid, and A. They've kind of left Fancy alone at B, who usually tries to push out B house and get that information for the team. But an A split seems to be in the cards right now for ATG, the way they're positioning across the map.
Azuma hoping for an up and over an 8. Bit random, it's not going to land on anything just yet. Sam prone in the connecting barn. Moff is just outside it on the A side. Azuma's made a little bit of noise. But spot Sam as he tries to peek round and make the most of that. And a second kill, Azuma just turning it on this round, and, well, in a heartbeat, it's getting away from the allies. Reaper is going to try and do as much damage as he can. Does land a shot, actually, partially through the connecting doors. Would have been one hell of a frag if he pulled it off. Does finish what he started with the bar. Going to take the car away. And again, as I mentioned, that's a pretty important kill, because that's going to lower the amount of cars and rifles that we see for a while for the Axis. They've only got one left. So that's going to be used straight away. They could have done with saving that car.
Certainly true. But the Axis do tick up another round. Really well managed across the board. Just kind of, you know, not having to worry about B too much, getting a good positioning at alt middle, and just defending A. They've done so well at that throughout. The leader will be taking that scope once again over towards middle. Not going to have a chance to shoot at anything, but Sus's scope will ring true. So he actually decides to get aggressive at long A. He definitely noticed that they've been taking up long A a lot, so he decides to kind of just push in there and see what he can do. Gets a second kill before getting traded by Sam. Still, though, you take that all day long. It still leaves his team up a man, and Saint 6 will catch Sam trying to jump around. So looking really good for the Bang right now.
Yeah, one thing that'll be in the back of their minds, though, is they started very well on the last map, 7-2 in the lead, and they let that one slip. So they can't afford to get too far ahead of themselves. They've got to close it out. They've got to take each round like it was ultimately the last. 2 snipers in play for the Allies, interestingly enough. 1 Springfield and 1 car, one of which was picked up from the corpse of Sus. Still had the bomb, have a bit of time to play with, and a couple of nades. Well, actually 3 in total, 2 smokes and 1 HE, so this may not be done just yet. Nathan, though, is going to be able to get picked off by Fancy, who is laid in wait, just chilling next to the fountain. And now Moffers pretty much just has to go for broke, has to go all in on this. Bar raining out, quite a few bullets down range, but he's run out of ammunition. Has to switch to a sniper rifle. It's a bit scrappy at the end, but Azuma will put him out of his misery. And a 4th round now finds its way on the side of the Bang.
Yeah, just got to give a lot of credit to Sus's early picks with the scope over in long A. That really opened up the door. And then Saint 6 was quick to get a kill as well. So it pretty much went into, what, like a really fast 4 versus 2 basically at that point. It really freed up the Bang to kind of push out B as well and just get complete map control and just kind of strangle the remaining members of ATG. They're now up 4-1 from the Bang side of things, hunting for that first title. Ever hungry. This is their third attempt at it, being in the other 2 Grand Finals previous. Different players involved in some of those games.
Delita coming into bot. It's going to be Moffers, though, that get the first kill on the board, but that's quickly counteracted courtesy of Delita's sniper. And now Fancy's going to town with the MP42 kills, narrowly missing out on a third. Reaper down to just 2 health. Acid just turn tail, get the hell out of there. Great hold by Fancy, stopping this push before it even gets started. He's able to regen, but a bit of deja vu. This time it's a 3-on-2, not a 4v2.
Yeah, a little bit better odds, as you said. They do have the option to just trot all the way back to A, but they will just focus up at the door together here and just try to pry their way into the B site. But they got to worry about Fancy's SMG, who's pushed double doors. But they're going to bypass that because the leader's not actually watching the route they're taking. And he actually could get shot in the side for free. This is very scary for the leader.
They're going to get away with it courtesy of Fancy's MP40 play and just his 6th sense. But yeah, I mean, I've got to say that was a little bit scary, a bit hairy, because they had the bomb down. It was on the site after Fancy originally obliterated them. And they had everything covered apart from the house to the left side of the bomb push, which is exactly where they went. So, as you said, I mean, if that had just worked out slightly differently and they'd managed to pick up the leader in the back, that round could have been up for debate for no reason at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely they've left one little gap there that could have been exploited, but it doesn't wind up being the case. In fact, they actually wrapped around and went stairs and tried to shoot Fancy in the back, who was still holding through double doors, but good response from Fancy. Winds up with, I think, 3 kills on that round, and pivotal ones at that. They now are up 5-1, but Deez gets the opening kill in this one, and again, Long A is on the menu for ATG. Outside of the one round where Sus kind of pushed it aggressively with the scope, they have been very successful in taking Long A and using it as an entry point into the site. They'll be looking to do so again. There are 3 players in the area to defend, one of them being the leader's scope, which has been pretty on point.
Yeah, the issue really is what you do with the long control, because they have no mid control. So at this point, well, I say that as Fancy dies, but I was going to say at this point they can focus both their attention over to the long side. If mid falls, now they have to have half a mind that's going to be behind them. Saint 6 opens up with 1, but runs out of ammunition. That's going to cost him his life. He didn't have any backup either, because Delita had to go and start watching mid as opposed to A. So you can see the domino effect comes into play, but Delita with his Luger just wrecking through the smoke like a machine gun. How quickly he's able to tap that. And Azuma comes in for one as well. And now suddenly, it's just all down to Moffers. He's only got a carbine at the back of the site. It's not exactly tailor-made for this sort of position. And there it goes. I mean, Azuma just peers around the corner of the car and gets the kill. That's a round that, if ATG want to win this map, they've got to win that.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to Saint 6, just, you know, finding way more than he probably should have inside. I think he was good for 2 kills there when he probably only should have been able to get 1. Also, the leader basically getting a hit marker through the smoke with the sniper, then spams his Luger through and gets a kill. That's kind of a one you hope not to give away when you have a smoke up in the trenches like that. But nonetheless, it is another round going the way of the Bang, as they now are up 6-1. Just 5 more rounds left in this half, so not a whole lot more room to work with if you're ATG, to be honest. They need to figure out something quick here if they don't want to let this lead get too out of control. It's a good way to start. They catch Sus being aggressive at middle.
Solid start once again. Nathan struggling in this game. Have to get himself into it at some point. Nobody on the side of ATG has more kills than deaths, but it is going to be Sam that's leading the way once more. Everybody on the Axis has 5+ kills. He's spreading the wealth, spreading the power, as it were. But Smoke's starting to connect. This set play is in motion. Up and over nade by Asuma. Going to see if he can land something. It's not going to work, but Saints MP40 will. And will work good enough to take down 2 players. Knife to the throat of Moffers takes him out, and Reaper will follow. A valiant hold by Saint will get the Axis yet another round.
Yeah, again, it's a little bit of deja vu. It's Saint somehow inside the site, being kind of cut off from his teammates due to utility, is still able to deliver 2 frags. You know, instead of only being able to get 1 or none, they are just not trading out Saints on the site effectively. And the leader, every single time he's, you know, brought his scope in transition back to A, usually he takes a mid pick initially, then he's just kind of standing around the trenches waiting to assist on A site when need be. He's been so good. Like, this pairing of Saint 6 and the leader has been defending A very well. So it is 7-1 for the Bang. Set nade from Sam, though, will come out, so that will maybe give something for ATG to work with, but they really haven't capitalized on man advantages. Like, we've seen a lot of these 4-on-5s, and it still goes the way of the Bang a lot of the time.
Saint actually gets an 8 kill, and then the second after dies himself, so that is at least going to be the linchpin. Last line of defense that's down, but now it's up to Delete, and he's going to establish himself as a dominant force to be reckoned with 2 of his own kills. Was spotted by the Thompson of D's, but what's Thompson at medium to long range isn't going to pack as much of a punch as up close. But the leader just catches an arm peeking round the corner of the smoke. Will land that, and another round goes the way of the Axis, and consistently the allies are getting kills, they're getting bomb plants, but they're not able to close it out.
What's consistently happening is there's usually some type of early advantage that takes place where ATG gets like some type of tac nade kill off the top, or maybe they even get an opening frag just straight up. But something always is done in response. Like, some individual effort rings out from the Bang. A couple times it was Saint that was able to get, you know, 2 kills before going down on the site. And usually that was in combination with the leader being able to multi-frag with the scope, which he's done that several rounds now. That round he was good for 3. Saint wasn't even really required in all of that. It was just straight up the leader with the scope, who's at 12 kills on the 9 rounds played. So he's definitely had some impact here, as the lead's really starting to spiral out of control at this point. Like, if you're ATG, you gotta be stressed out because you keep getting the start you want in a round, but you can never finish the job. There's always some sick response from one of the Bang members that just kind of puts you through a screeching hole.
Well, that's the thing, because they keep getting these opening picks, and again they're going to get one. You know, at what point does something snap on their team? At what point do they stop in bickering, you know, amongst themselves? Like, guys, what the hell's going on here? How are we not winning these rounds? Another day, this could easily be like a 4-4, 5-4 scoreline. But it's getting out of control, and again they get the first pick. They end up trading the next 2 in favor of the Axis, but now Reaper comes through with a kill of his own. A, ripe for the taking. This time Saint 6 is not going to be establishing any kind of defense with his MP40 or 44. Very unfortunate not to get that kill onto Delete, who comes round the corner and takes down Reaper. Sometimes Lady Luck is just not with you. Reaper did connect the shot with a sniper, which for me looked dead on his chest. But that's it. Delete appearing around the corner. D's can only be in so many positions. And finally, he will be found and will be fragged. Yet another retake is successful.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. There's no worse feeling than, you know, getting the hit marker when you're using a scope or a bolt action. You feel like you should be getting that 1-hit kill and you don't, and that gives your opponent a chance to strike back, and boy, does the leader ever do so. Adds another multi-frag round to the list of rounds he's done that in this half. He has definitely been kind of the key piece over here for the Bang outside of Saint 6 that's been just defending the A bomb site, because that's where the Bang always is finding fights at. Like, ATG has yet to show us any type of B execute. Like, they've been so focused on just splitting A through long and through plane, and they just never really get anywhere. Even if they get an early 5-on-4, they still can't convert it. Like, it just feels like a bit of stubbornness now at this point. Do they not have anything else in their playbook? It's something you have to begin to wonder.
I just wonder if they're getting baited in because they consistently get bomb plants and make the rounds close. Like, oh, this is the one. You know, this is the time we win a round and we really turn it back around. But Saint in for another 2 kills. We've been here so many times. Zuma with 2. Can't believe they're getting this much luck into play. It's like every time we peek up, they're pushing long A, they're pushing A site. We're just in the money for the frags.
That time, Zuma actually had a really fast flank behind them on the long A street. That's something we haven't really had happen before. And yeah, lo and behold, really just come up from behind. Zuma, just the closer that round, been doing something a little bit more aggressive, doing something a little bit more forceful this time around, but the big lead just keeps growing.
I'm currently on loading screen, mate, so you have to take this away. I just got kicked again.
Nope, I'm in the same boat, so you guys get nothing. Nothing.
Oh, back in.
All right, now Vince will take care of you.
All right, so it's a 5-on-3 in favor of the Axis.
Mm-hmm.
No huge surprise there, I guess. Although the Allies have got a lot of picks. What the hell was that, Azuma? That is a nutty shot. Shooting into top of Manor House. And, well, it's 11-1, boys. There's not much to say, really. That round was a clean sweep.
That's the end of the half, too. Doesn't get much more dominant than that. In fact, there's only one other possibility that's more dominant than this, and that would have been a 12-0. Captain Obvious here, reporting for duty. If you score more points than your team, you win the game. Well, John Madden action for you. That was terrible. John Madden impression. The worst.
Oh, man. I do feel pretty bad, though, I've got to say. I don't think 11-1 is a fair representation of how that half went. Could have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
How many post-plant scenarios, how many clutches? Like, it was nutty.
Yeah, I agree. It really just came down to like big individual plays from the leader and Saint, like every single round. But anyway, we're into the second half now. 4-on-3. This time ATG has a chance to put up the Stonewall defense. Sam's got a pretty good flank going on the A Street here, but it seems like Sus is keen on it. He seems aware, seems to be looking out for it, so it may not have an impact.
Saint 6 slowly but surely coming around the corner, and he's going to get himself spaceyed by Reaper's scope. Down he goes, and back into winning ways. ATG will fall. Maybe this is the start of something truly special. I mean, we saw the Bang choke or lose or whatever from a 7-2 lead on a previous map. Can they lose an 11-1 lead?
I don't know. You would hope not. For the sake of the Bang sanity.
Yeah, because that would be the second time in a row that they've been ahead in the grand finals and would have lost it. Because the same thing happened last week against Penta.
Become like the Golden State Warriors of Battalion 1944 blowing a 3-1 lead.
That is a lost reference from me. I have no idea who they are.
It was actually kind of forced. The ball wasn't even really that good. Anyway, brains melting. We've been here a while. The Bang, though, fighting a lot better in this round. Up until Nathan does that with the MP40, it was even. Now it's all down just to one lone soldier of the Allies. It's going to be Zuma, and he's not going to get a whole lot of a crack at it before it's all said and done. So it is now 3-11. Still heavily in favor of the Bang, but ATG is slowly checking the boxes they need to on that list. They maybe get back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, really, they've got to take each round like it's their last in this, because ultimately it very well could be, and they can't afford to lose too many weapons, because eventually the card system will catch up with them. If they're losing 3 or 4 players each round, you know, the long haul will definitely favour the Bang to just take this. So it's got to be clear-cut rounds, it's got to be dominant rounds, get a bit of confidence, start to feel like you can win this again.
And Sam's going for the same flank again. He was so big in getting into Manor House and like destroying the Bang's attack before it ever even got started over here on the A side of the map. He's going for it again. This time Susto has found a kill. It's been an equal trade so far, but again, Sam's the problem, but the leader catches on to it. That's a big kill that really alleviates a lot of pressure that the Bang was going to have to deal with. Gives them a chance to kind of use this remaining time, which there's still a lot of, to kind of just sort things out, take their time, be patient, and the leader keeps teeing off. He's found another. Big advantage now for the Bang in this round.
These gonna get a kill onto Zuma. Saint witnesses that first hand. He's been looking there for a while, jumping up and down with his sniper. Oh, what a shot that is onto these! Lightning quick reaction shot. And Dees has been eradicated, leaving just the lonely Reaper by himself. 7 kills so far. He's gonna have to get to double digits if he wants to clutch this. And you can see as well, he's got half a mind behind him towards where Saint was last seen on long. Wants to make sure he doesn't get flanked. Bomb gets planted, Reaper misses his shot, and likely will die as a result. And indeed he shall. Sniper trades hands, worst case scenario, 9 match points.
It's going to be a long, long road for ATG now to get back into this one. But if you're the Bang, you're probably feeling like, finally, we're going to get one. Again, they lost the first Blitzkrieg battle in the finals to Ocelots 0-2. They lost the second Blitzkrieg battle 1-2 to Penta. And then they had a 7-2 lead on Liberation for the 2-0 dream, wound up losing that game, and now have come to map number 3, but they have looked pretty dominant. Could this be it? Could this be the one?
Well, you definitely hope so. Like, as you said, for their sanity.
Here's the question, Vince. Is J Money the problem then?
I don't think so. J Money was nuts.
Clearly. Sarcasm.
Well, I don't know what he's...
Joins his mate Kiyoshima from the CSGO scene.
I mean, I don't know what he's like on a personal level, right? He could be maybe somebody that doesn't click with other personalities. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know the guy.
Yeah. He just wasn't around because of a birthday party, apparently. So.
Yeah.
No drama being stirred here. Just thought it would be kind of funny. That the one tournament he doesn't play in is one they win.
I think also another thing you've got to put into that is that the competition...
Different bracket as well.
Yeah, and the competition hasn't been as strong as the other weeks either. We haven't had a lot of the teams.
This, no albino cats. Article 51 still doesn't really have a set 5.
Computer players aren't back. Pro Grip weren't back again. There's a lot of teams that weren't here that have been in previous Blitzkriegs.
Very true. It's a tough one. Do you defend J Money or do you degrade the Bang's accomplishment for winning these finals? It's a tricky line to dance on.
If they still played very well, you know, you can only beat what's put ahead of you. So I think they definitely deserve this, and
sure.
You know, ATG, they mounted a
Here's the thing, they've
comeback.
been consistently making deep runs in these tournaments to where I feel like you do have to pay attention to these players. Once they do get a lineup sorted out, they can be amongst some of those classic names as being some of the better teams in this game early on. So that's definitely one thing to take out of it. So we do see the Bang trying to finish the game off, but right now ATG has something to say about it. They've been able to take the last round pretty clean, and this round has been very easy for them. They are coasting to a 5th round right now. Unless the leader and Sus can craft some magic here, it's going to go another round, at least.
Yeah, again, I think it's all about inflicting as much damage as you can onto the cards of the Axis, even though this round's probably not going to happen to Sam. That was a disgusting shot onto Sus, partially through the wooden door. And they've done it in style, and I said this is one of their keys to bringing this back is not just winning rounds, but winning them with 5 players left alive, and they've done just that, so fair play.
Yeah, exactly. It keeps your cards going, you don't have to, and you're also picking up your opponent's cards. So right now they're fully decked out, no one has to play default class. They still have 2 rifleman cards, a marksman, some operators, still stored up. So that's great news for them. Meanwhile, you're starting to see some carbines having to come out of here for the Bang, because they are starting to kind of run a little bit dry on their economy. But obviously the default class gives you a lot of utility to use for some set pieces onto the site, so you can definitely overwhelm your opponents with set nades and smokes. And they're definitely going really heavy at A, by the way, like no hesitation, straight up just bum rushing it at this point. They do stop right short of the entrance, though. They're waiting for Saint to get in position, but they're about to explode onto this A site. But they got to worry about a flank from Sam. And there's 4 players here to defend.
Yeah, Sam is biding his time. He doesn't want to rattle off any shots unless they're absolutely guaranteed, but it's a balancing act. Do you take the shot and potentially miss, or do you just try and help your teammates out? Deez and Moffa's doing a solid job, but because he's made no noise, because he hasn't jumped the gun, he should be favourites to take Sus down, who's now on the site, and he'll do just that. Patience proving to be a virtue. Last player left alive is going to be the leader. Got a lot of time to play with, though. He doesn't have to try and force this bomb down anytime soon. But he knows where one player is, has no idea on the second. Reaper, timing on his side. He actually was prone just as the leader went looking for him. The leader going to be rattling off shots downrange, but it won't be happening. That being said, though, it was another 3 cards, pardon me, taken away from the Axis.
Yeah. The big problem is that Sam keeps pushing out B so fast, and so every time they focus on an A execute, Sam's always behind them. So not only does he have a flank that he can kind of use as like a trump card in the late round to do the checkmate and finish it off, it also really allows like the other 4 players in his team to just focus on defending A. So you're running up against the most powerful defense possible, where everyone's there and you're getting flanked at the same time. So it's very hard to battle against that. I mean, they almost broke through. I mean, they got into a 1v2. That's not too shabby, but eventually they need to pick up on this flank from Sam or something. That or they need to be even faster on hitting A before Sam can get into that position. They need to be wise to it when the retake commences that Sam could be behind them. So there's a lot of things they need to be thinking about here, because slowly but surely ATG are working themselves back into this game. They're still pretty far off, though. It's not like panic levels yet, but it's building up a little bit.
Oh, that nade. Deez lands it plumb on Saint. And he's in the same position last time. It doesn't seem like the Allies can get rid of this other than just straight up facing him. Nazuma, last player left alive, is at least going to dispatch of Moffers on his way out. Not done just yet. Maybe there's some more carnage to be had with his Garand. He does have bomb as well.
I feel like at this point, someone just needs to be dedicated to watching Sam flank. Like, Manor House position, hold that, hold arch, hold fountain, do something. Like, this guy is constantly burning you from behind. He's done it every single round. Like, there's got to be some type of adjustment here. Like, again, I know they're still pretty well out in front. They still have 5 chances to win this in regulation. But, I mean, eventually they're going to whittle you down, it feels like. Looks like Vincent had to take a step away from the computer real quick, so I'll kind of take a little bit of solo casting until he gets back. You know, by the time he gets back, this could be over, though. We'll have to see. This could be the last round. Again, it has been series point, championship point here for the Bang for quite some time, but they're starting to, you know, kind of slow down just before they cross the tape. And it's given a chance to their opponents to start catching back up here in the home stretch. Saint Six will be pushing long a solo, and look at this. Fancy is indeed watching out for Sam's flank. They have dedicated a member, in fact, to watching that. Fancy is just posted up, not moving, waiting for it. In the meantime, Zuma has gotten that entry into the connector house, I believe that was, onto Reaper. So an early man advantage here for the Bang as they look to try to finish this tournament off. Saint Six still posted up at long A. Still has his smoke and grenades, so they definitely can be setting up the execute. In the meantime, Fancy's still watching for Sam's flank, which is the right thing to do, because Sam is on the way, and Fancy looks like they should be in position to catch it, and Fancy is. That's well done. Finally, that thorn in their side they've been dealing with every round up until this point has been eradicated, and now they can just roll in with their advantage, deliver the kills they need, and the Bang finally do it. They have won Blitzkrieg battle number 3. They found the finals twice before this. They've always been finalists, but now they're champions, so congrats to them on the victory. Also, a huge props out to ATG. Definitely saw some impressive play from them throughout the tournament. Definitely some more players to keep some eyes on. And yeah, just, again, you got to give your props over to the gents over at the Bang. They finally get one. It looks Vince is not back, so I will just sign out for both of us really quickly. Again, we appreciate all of you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the tournament, please do hit that follow button on Twitch, because we will be back, I believe, next Saturday. This is a weekly tournament for the European scene. Every Saturday, there is a tournament here from the plays called the Blitzkrieg Battle, so it'll be number 4 next weekend. You can also sign up to play for future tournaments, though it does fill up pretty fast. I'm not sure if number 4 is filled up yet already or not, but definitely check out the Plays GG's website if you'd like to get involved in future tournaments. Again, I think there's also going to be some Sunday Cups for North America from the plays coming up in the coming weeks. There's also some other community tournaments out there as well for both Europe and the EU and other regions, so just definitely get involved. You know, stay tuned to the Battalion subreddit, the forums, you know, just try to be involved in the community. If this is a game that you enjoy, definitely would appreciate you guys playing, you guys being out there in the community, you guys just being a part of things. And with that, I'll actually pass it back to Vince so he can say his parting words before we sign off the stream.
Yes, cheers for watching, guys. Hopefully we'll catch you next week. Pleasure as always, Dust, and peace.
Yeah. Give us a follow if you don't mind. Exclamation point casters in chat. Give you a link to our Twitters. And we'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.